In our last video, we had talked about a shortcut method that you could use to solve and compound inequalities. However, that will not work for this problem because if you look at these ends, you can see that there are variables on the ends. And so when that happens, that shortcut approach will not work. We can move things out from the middle to both ends, but you cannot, like this minus 5b, you can't add that to the middle and the left end. So that will disrupt that balance. So there's no choice but to separate them. So what we have here is a marriage that is in some need of help, right? We got some extra stuff in that marriage and we don't want that there. So we're going to take Mrs. Smith. So again, from the end through the middle, we're going to send her to see some counselor, get her a little bit of help. So again, we have to expose the problems. All right, so that's the first problem. And then we're going to take Mr. Smith, and he starts on the right end all the way through the middle. And he's going to go over here and see his counselor. Try to get him some help. Negative 12b minus 14 less than or equal to 14 minus 5b. All right, and then we are just going to solve each of those separately. So I'm actually going to stop right here on this one, and I want to go ahead and set up number 6 because the solving them is not new. It's the splitting them up that you have to get. All right, so again, we have some extra stuff in this middle. We don't want that in there, so we are going to take the left through the middle, and we're going to copy that down here. All right, so I don't want to forget anything. And then we're going to take the right side through the middle and copy that over here. All right, so what I want you to do is just pause the video. I want you to solve each one of these problems, and then we'll compare answers and we'll put them back together. So go ahead and pause and give it a shot. Okay, so let's see how you did. I got -2 and I got -4 when I solved mine, and I had to remember that to divide by -7 I have to flip the sign. So if you did it my way, just remember to flip that sign. And then for number 6 I got -3 and I got -13. So these numbers represent your endpoints. Now that we've got all the issues resolved, it's time to put people back together. So we're going to put the letter in the middle, an arrow on each side. Now, just be careful, -4 is smaller than -2, so that should come first, and both of them get underlined. All right, same thing here, letter, you put your symbols in. -13 is smaller than -3, and it looks like the -3 should have an underline. All right, so these are my answers to the problems. Okay, so you've cleaned those up, and we're just going to graph it real quick. So it looks like we have 2 solid dots. We have an open dot and a solid dot. And ands always stay together. So we're just going to connect them just like that. Okay. Now, fair warning, there are trick questions that are out there. There are some teachers that will throw the word or in the problem, but the answer actually comes out to be an and problem. And there's teachers that will write the word and, but it ends up being a trick question and the answer has to be an or answer. I don't believe in tricking students like that. I think that if you're going to use a word, it has to follow up with the answer making sense with that word. So if it's an or, it should result as an or. If it's an and, it should result as an and. So you do not have to worry about any trick questions in my class. I will not use incorrect words to try to throw you off. I just want to make sure you know the process for each scenario.